Hi, good morning, everyone. So today we are discussing about the data warehouse implementation. So before that, we have to see that three-tier architecture of the data warehouse. We have discussed about this in the previous videos about this three-tier architecture. This is called as bottom tier in this OLAP servers, and this called as middle tier, and the front end tier is called as top tier. This query report analysis and data mining. Okay, today we will discuss about the how we implement the data warehouse. We will see the step by steps here. So before that, I am recollecting the old things here. We are having operational databases and external sources. We are having real time data. With the data, we are extracting and transforming load into the data warehouse. So how we store the data warehouse in the schemas we seen the structure of the schemas, how we store the data into the data warehouse. We seen in the previous video that the star and snowflake schemas and factory concentration schema, that is galaxy schema. By using those schemas, we can store the data into the data warehouse. From and also we have discussed about the OLAP cubes. So from this data warehouse, we are getting the data into the OLAP cubes. From there, OLAP cubes, we are doing this analysis. This is the three-tier architecture. We know that the key characteristics of the data warehouse. But as per the Inman model, we are having this subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variant. What is subject-oriented? Means it's focused on a specific subjects like sales, customer data. So that is called as subject-oriented. Integrated means it's combine the data from multiple sources in a consistent format. You see here in the bottom tier, we are having operational databases, external sources. We are integrating these all the data into the data warehouse. That is, this is a definition of the integrated. Non-volatile means data is stable and not frequently updated. Why? Because it is a OLAP servers data warehouse. So whatever the data we are storing into this data warehouse, that will be stored, but that will be not deleted in any circumstances. Okay, so by using the versions we can inactive the data, but here there is no way, there is no option to delete the data from the data warehouse. That is called as non-volatile, means data is stable, is not frequently updated. And the time variant means it stores the historical data, as we discussed just now. So it stores the historical data and track changes over the time. These are the key features of the data warehouse. How we implement the data warehouse? How we implement the data warehouse? We have the steps like this. First one is we have to require the gatherings. Here we seen in the this data warehouse architecture here. So we have to require the gatherings, means operational databases and external sources. So this is about the requirements and gathering. So understand that here we have to understand the goals of the organization. First of all, means what data we want to store into this data warehouse, and what insights are required, means sales trends, customer behavior, like that. For example, if you take your example as a college may want to analyze the student performance across departments and semesters. So that kind of things will comes under the requirement gathering. So next we have to go for the data source identification, means which type of data you want to store into the data warehouse. Those are operational databases or external sources. If suppose we take operational databases, sales system, HR system. External sources we see here market trends and competitor analysis. For example, we take here a business collects data from the customer transactions, that website activity and social media platforms. So these are comes under the data source identification. Next, we have to go for the ETL process. So in the ETL process, we seen in the uh, diagram. So in this three-tier architecture, you go here. So ETL process. This is the ETL process we are doing from these operational databases, external sources. Here we have to extract and transform the load into the data warehouse. This is about the ETL transactions, and for this ETL transactions, I did full course on 7 hours IACS course. You go through that and you will get the process and how we store the ETL process and what transformations we are using and how we remove the anomalies, how we store the CDs, and all types of videos are there in this our channel. You go through that and you see here. Okay, this is the ETL process. Here extract, transform, and load. So here example are taken as think of gathering data from different departments we are cleaning it for errors and storing it in a one central system. And data model, as we seen how we store the data into the data warehouse. We have to store the data in a structured format for easy retrieval by using the star schema, snowflake schema for organizing data. We are having a factory constellation schema, those called as galaxy schema. By modeling like the schemas, we can easily store the data into easy retrieval, and it is having well structured format. Example we take here, retail company organizes its data into the dimensions like time, product, and region. Okay, we have seen that star and snowflake schema in the previous video. You go through that. Okay, here building the warehouse. How do we build a warehouse? We are having two types. One is on-premises servers, as well as we are having cloud bases. Here the on-premises we use the tools like SQL Server, Oracle, and for the cloud bases we use AWS Redshift and Google BigQuery to building the data warehouse. And the next step is implement OLAP. Means OLAP is nothing but online analytical processing. Here OLAP tools allows users to perform analyze the multiple dimensions. OLAP is nothing but so here OLAP cubes are there, so we can perform the cube in the multiple ways. So that's why here implement of OLAP is necessary. Okay, and here example we take as sales by region, product, and type. Here performance like we use this operation slicing, dicing, drill down into data. So these how we slice, how we dice, how we drill down, we seen in the previous video. So that can be implemented in our sixth step. So seventh step is here data access and reporting. So provide the tools for generating reports dashboards. Means we having the OLAP cubes and OLAP servers. From there onwards, we will perform generating reports dashboards. And here we use the tools like Power BI, Tableau for creating the visualization and trends. Our the step 8 is here testing and deployment. We are generate all the structure. We have to test the system or architecture, whatever the data warehouse we implement the steps we have taken up to 7, we go for the testing and deploy. Okay, we in the test system we have to ensure the data accuracy and performance. So both are important here, accuracy and performance. If accuracy is good, performance is low also, the in the real time world, so the performance has more, it takes major role. This is a fast world, that's why we have to keep in mind this system, test system, to ensure that data accuracy as well as the performance. Here deploy the warehouse for business users or end users. Okay, and maintenance, after that everything completed, we go for the maintenance. So he regularly update the data warehouse to include the new data and monitor for performance and address issues like data corruption, inconsistency. So these kind of things we have to take into mind. We have to remove that data corruption and inconsistency in the data warehouse by using the ETL transformations. These are the 9 steps to create or implement a data warehouse. And what are the benefits we are having? The benefits here, we are getting a centralized data. Means we have to store the data in one place, and we have improved decision making. Means the business users will take this data, and they will make trends, and they will make predictions by using for the purpose of AI and ML operations. Here the fast queries we are having in this, the pre-aggregated data allows for quicker analysis, and this having scalability means hence growing data as the organization expands. So this is the benefits we are having. We have to use this data warehouse in the real time in the retail industry as well as in the educational sector. This is about the how we implement the data warehouse. Please subscribe and like for more videos on the data warehouse. Thank you very much.